God damn it, I need to get to fucking Verizon. The last time I played this, the 16th. So it's been about a couple days. Okay. Luke and Layton encounter Dr. Schrader at Green Hospital. The doctor reveals that he's been holding on to Layton's car in his absence. In the car, the pair finds another letter from future Luke telling them where to meet him. Luke and Layton head for the Gilded Seven Casino on Flatstone Street. Okay. I want to get down! And if it is loud in my ear... There we go. That should be better. Luke, if we are to visit the casino, we need to take the railway back to Flatstone Street. Okay, Professor. The illusion of travel. Here we are, back at Flatstone Street. Yes, but I don't see anything here that looks like a casino. I think our best bet is to ask a local. Oh look, there's someone we can ask. We're here, Professor. Kid, you got exactly 5 seconds to stop eyeballing me. 1, 2. I'm very sorry, sir. I gather that didn't go so well. Let's ask someone else, Professor. I can't even look at the man without him snapping at me. And all this time, I thought you had a talent for communicating with wild animals. Come on, Professor. It's no fair teasing me now. That guy was scary. Now, don't look so sour. I was just trying to brighten your spirits with a joke. Why don't we do a puzzle? That should be what he actually says, but nope. Breeze blowing through town. Oh, fuck, I did that. Do it again. I feel like it's a trick question and there's only 3, but...
I've got a good feeling about this one.
Apparently not, Layton. Yeah, this puzzle is quite annoying. And welcome in. You want me to try 15? You know, I'll try anything once.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
Nicely done.
Just as I suspected.
Ah! Okay. You need to explain your logic. Okay, so you got some smarts. Nice work there. And I used to love walking with my hubby. Back then, he'd come home for dinner every night. Used to? Sadly, those carefree walks ended when we moved here for this new job. He must be working him hard, working him like a dog because he hardly ever comes home. Sad. God damn it, Box. Now I'm in the developer's head. I was just gonna say, just know that you'll be on stream, but I mean, it's not a big deal.
Hello.
Let me turn you up.
Okay. Hello. So you know when so that was a chessboard. Well, kinda, something like that. So there is a way to calculate that all these small squares just by multiplying how many squares are in the x and the y, like a shit. How to explain this shit? Okay, so the board is one side is 3 squares long and one is 5 squares long. So by multiplying them both, you get that there are 15 squares in total on that board. Yep. That's the way to count them faster. So I thought, what if all the ways cover all the squares in the board? Yeah, that's why I said 15. Since it's the exact number of squares they are.
Yeah, it seems. Yeah, that makes sense. Like,
I hate that work. God damn it. So stupid.
Well, you are welcome to stay in voice chat if you want. Oh, you already dumped out. Yeah, he's got like a crazy neck. Anyway, how's my experience with Layton Puzzles been? So I played the original game, The Curious Village, way back when it came out, and I loved it. And I have always wanted to do all the Layton games. So, as you can see, we're on the 3rd one. I have been playing them in order. We took last week off because I was helping out with a charity. I'm a part of a stream team called Shoe Goose, and the basically the head honcho there DM'd everyone, was like, if you want to volunteer to help with the charity, be our guest. So last week I played my favorite game, Twilight Princess, a couple times. I did a BizHawk Shuffler on Saturday, and I did a Rando on Sunday. And then last night I played Twilight Princess again because I wanted to. So we're back to Layton again tonight. The slide puzzles are a pain. I actually don't mind them as much. So. I don't know what to call her. Like, she's like the person in charge on Shoe Goose. So, but as you can see, I'm officially done with the charity, but I've been keeping it up because today is their big charity event. She's currently hosting it over on her channel, and I'm keeping it up here. That's how much has been raised so far for the entire week. It started at 561 today, so majority of it came today. Apparently every 500 raised, I'm entered into a chance to get pied in the face. And I've also set a goal for myself. If that hits 2,000, I will play Sonic 06 on my stream. The HD original trilogy. Yeah, I love Curious Village, and like that's the only story I know. So, as I was playing through it, I'm like, do you guys want to know? You guys want to know? You guys want to know what the secret is? I don't understand. Why are you so scared of me, sir? You? No, it's your friend there with the big hair. Oh, he's looking right at me. Calm down. I mean you no harm. You must have me confused with someone else. The only thing I want to know is the location of the Gilded 7 casino. Around here, is it not? Put that back up. If the game volume is too low, let me know. I'll turn it up. But we're not missing much, honestly. The casino. Oh, I get it. You guys are testing me. You want to see if Hazel's gonna spill the beans. But you're gonna send me a one-way vacation to nowhere. What are you talking about? Look, somebody help me. And there he goes again. I'm planning on beating all 6. I've dubbed this the Summer of Layton on my channel, so we've been going through all of them. Also, Desires, I've already been thinking ahead to November because I'm that crazy, but last year I did Zelda month for November. I kind of want to do another Zelda month, but games I haven't beaten on stream yet. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Pretty cool. I mean, do you think I'm playing this on original hardware? I have no DS in front of me. Poor fellow, it sounds like he had a bad run-in with someone who looks like him. Yeah. Can I teach you about our Lord and Savior emulation? The DESMUME. Not even version 1, it's 0.9. He's not the first person to wreck stranger to your hat. Seems that my doppelganger has quite a fearsome reputation. Maybe it makes sense to take your hat off for the time being, you know, to avoid confusion. Nonsense, Luke. I don't take my fucking hat off anywhere. I guess not. What's our next move? Yo, Becky from the Hoods has been quite helpful, so why don't we go ask her for direction? Yeah, for many years I was in that, like, black and white about emulation, but my stance I love the plot of the first game. The second game was good too. This so far, I already know like the twist. One of the twists. I don't know if there's another twist, but I know one of the twists. Pretty sure. I grew up with emulation, so I don't have a problem with it. I had more of a problem with it when it was still early on, and like, the gray. It was like in a black and white. Like, you should have the game in order to emulate it, but my thought process is this. You know, one of my other mods, the Jumping Box, has said that this game is probably one of the best games in the series. A lot of people like this game a lot. So I've been looking forward to playing it. But yeah, so I grew up with emulation in the early 2000s, like when the internet was still like in its infancy and we were all downloading it. And my stance has evolved into this stance, and that is, if I can purchase the game reasonably, so like if I want to play an NES game and I could buy it for say like $20 or $20-$30, then I will. We all know game collection. There's no fucking way I'm buying an NES game for $20-$30. Let alone, I don't have the NES anymore, so I can't even play it anyway. If I can play it on other means, like if I have it on the Virtual Console on my Wii U, or if Nintendo Switch Online has it, I'll play it that way. That's fine. Like, that's available to me. It's available in its simplest form. Cool. If I can't, I will emulate it. Nintendo, unfortunately, sucks at preserving their games. Sony has come a long way in preserving games, and so is Microsoft. Nintendo fucking sucks at it. Did we? I think I do remember this, talking about it. But, no, it's not real, but I always get mad when something fictional happens in fictional world. Like, it's all fictional, get over it. I love diving into fictional worlds. Like, one of my favorite TV shows of all time is Stargate SG-1. I love the idea of space travel, like going through a wormhole and going to another planet. The Bowser guy paying Nintendo for modding consoles? I did not. Oh wait, I think I heard about someone modding like 3DSs or something. The casino with that kid? Are you fucking nuts? Oh, sorry, you misunderstand me. We're not going to gamble. We're merely to... See, there's no place to take a child. Even I know that, dumbass. Wow, that's really nice of you to worry about me, sir. You needn't be concerned about the boy's well-being, especially when... Look, buddy, you don't take kids into a place like that. So don't expect any help from me. What a dick. When the story is too ridiculous and breaks all logic for the sake of a plot twist. Yeah, a very good plot twist is hard to pull off. It's like if you're a wrestling fan doing a double turn, if you know what that means. You're looking for the Gilded 7 Casino. I guess we're supposed to meet someone there. Well, before you go, I think you ought to know that that establishment is a family hangout. We appreciate your concern, Becky, but we really need to go there. I understand. Oh, Granny's asleep again. I don't think she'd be too keen on me directing you to, a hotbed of criminal activity. Oh, we don't need to worry about safety, do we? Not that I'm scared or anything. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're talking about at the beginning of the game when it says this work is a work of fiction. That I think you're talking about that disclaimer at the beginning of this and like Persona 5 where it says this work is a work of fiction. Anything resembling the real world is purely coincidental. That's a way to cover their ass, because if there is a person named Hershel Layton out in the world and they make him look like a dumbass, like Hershel Layton is not going to come and knocking on Nintendo level 5's door and be like, what the fuck? Like, that's what they're doing. It was not me this time. I did cut stream earlier, so. Bravery is an admirable, if not particularly helpful character trait. Anyway, you know where Flatstone Station is, right? Just head straight north from the plaza in front of the station. We'll see the casino eventually. I had a feeling it was somewhere around there. You did? What tipped you off? Well, when we passed the station last, one of the family's goons was posted outside the path north. I thought there was something fishy about it, but I couldn't get past him to see what was up. Probably won't be a problem for you this time. The goons move around from post to post pretty often. Good to know. Those goons are the brightest bunch. Anyway, go check for yourself. I bet you anything a path is open now. Uh-oh. Becky, these are our guests. I'm sure you have better things to do than listen to you. They have better things to do than listen to you blather at them. You and one of my mods both. I screamed when they announced Mario RPG Remake. No need to worry, Margaret. Becky here was just giving directions to our next destination. Was that so? Well, as long as she's being helpful. I think honestly, the Layton announcement at that direct is the main catalyst for me wanting to play these, because I want to play them before that one comes out. Oh, by the way, it's a bird. It's a common bird. That's a parrot. How do you suppose it got here? Let's ask him. It's a parrot. Where did you come from? Fuck you! Fuck you! I think you may have been too eager there, my boy. You scared him off. Aw, all he said was fuck you, fuck you. Yeah, I'm wondering where Flora is. Look, the fellow who's standing is God. Yes, no spoilers. Try to keep it like, I know you try to keep it vague, but, you know. Seems Becky's guess was right on the money. Let's keep moving north. I will laugh if that is fucking Flora right now.
Huh?
Nope.
Yeah.
No, we haven't seen Flora yet.
Hmm? Professor?
Oh, it's just beautiful, Hershel.
Oh, do you really like it?
I don't just like it. I love it. Thank you so much.
No.
Picking out the right gift can be quite the puzzle.
Lucky for me, every puzzle has an answer. Isn't that what you always say?
Yes, well.
Awkward.
I've been thinking,
Go on.
if I were to get the teaching job, then we... Well...
I'm listening, Hershel.
Oh, I'll tell you later.
Come on now. Tell me more about these plans of yours.
No, it was nothing. Now let's eat before our food gets cold.
Hey, no fair changing the subject.
What are you talking about? I did nothing of the sort.
You most certainly did.
Yeah, I accidentally spoil things in other people's streams too. I hate when I do it because I feel bad, but I understand. I get excited. Professor, is something the matter? You look dazed. I'm fine, Luke. My eyes seem to be playing tricks on me. I'm playing it mean because it has something to do with that lady who just walked by. Probably nothing. Just reminded me of someone I knew a long time ago. And just where do you two think you're going? We're on our way to meet someone at the Gilded Seven Casino. See, going to the casino to meet up with someone. Yes, that's not suspicious at all. Jacob was playing Isaac one night. I think this is one of the other reasons why I think he's, like, not being friendly with me lately. He was playing Isaac, and he got to Delirium. Or he was heading to Delirium. And I said that the familiar you get from beating Delirium takes the form of all other familiars in the game. And he's like, oh, so now you just spoiled the boss fight for me. And I was like, fuck. I think this guy's trying to intimidate us. But with all the whispering, boy, I'm right here, you know. Oops. Sorry? Excellent. You're owned up to your rudeness. All is forgiven. That's good, boy. All due respect, sir, would you please just let us pass? The hour grows late. Of course, my good man. That is... I will as soon as you solve your way through this puzzle of mine. Yeah. All three shapes here are created by rotating and shifting the same capital letter in front of the mirror. What letter is it? That is a... interesting. Also, I'm emulating it, so I do save states, and I cheat. I'm not gonna deny it, so... Yeah, I brute force a lot of these, too. You think it's B? I'll try it.
That should do the trick.
Not.
That should do the trick.
Yeah, I think it wants you to think it's F, but it's well, I mean, yeah, that's what these games are good at. Isn't that great? No, this would be turning it into the Deathly Hallows. Actually, the circle should be a little bit lower. Like, right here. Anyway. Alright, let's continue. Wow, that's a casino. I think it's safe to say we found the Gilded Seven. I can't wait to see what it looks like up close. It almost cost 10 times more than the Layton-mobile. Oh my god, what? I think we stumbled upon a hidden puzzle. I had to hit that fountain a bunch of times. Mr. 820. One of the 5 people shown below has a very unique nickname, Mr. 820. Pretty weird, huh? Well, apparently everybody who sees this person and hears the nickname thinks it's just perfect. Who's Mr. 820?
This one's as good as solved.
Really? It's gonna brute force it.
This one's as good as solved.
I swear to
This
God, if
one's
it's
as
not.
good as solved.
Game, what the fuck do you want from me?
This one's as good as solved.
They could have all been fucking 820.
Phew, that's a relief.
Of two gentlemen playing a game of cards. Everyone who sees this photograph points to the same thing and says something like, someone has no idea what he's doing. Circle this part of the photograph these people are referring to.
That should do the trick. That should do the trick.
Why?
Well, that's settled.
Numbers are usually printed on the top left and bottom right corners of the playing cards. Oh, really? That's what we're doing? Yeah, I actually... Wow. Okay. Okay. Fully solved, sir. You certainly earn the right to enjoy our exclusive facilities. Welcome to the Gilded Seven. Just look at these fountains and the floors. This place must have cost a fortune to build. I know you're excited, Luke, but do try to keep your voice down. Hi, Professor. This place is just so impressive. I understand the feeling. It's also quite large. Finding your future self in here may prove a challenge. Or he's right fucking there.
So you're...
He's the future me?
It's good to finally meet you, Professor. Or rather, I suppose I should say it's nice to see you again. It's me, Luke Triton.
Are you sure about that?
Hello, Luke.
Hi, Professor. Oh, you're talking to him.
Luke, you're a dumbass.
This is going to take some getting used to.
I can't believe how small I used to be.
I'm not that small.
So tell me, why exactly did you go through such pains to bring us here?
I'll be happy to tell you in just a moment. But before that, I'd just like to verify that I'm dealing with the real Professor Layton here.
I'm gonna make you do a puzzle.
Who else would I be?
Allow me to explain. In my London, it's rare to find someone who doesn't know the name Hershel Layton. In fact, many imposters have come forth recently claiming to be him.
Are you saying you think the professor is a fraud?
That is exactly what he's saying, Luke.
Professor, if you think back on our adventures together, you may recall a man named Don Paolo. As you know, he was a master of disguise.
Master of Disguise? That movie sucked. Turtle, turtle.
How do I know the man before me now isn't Don Paolo in another of his costumes?
Now that's just rubbish, and you know it.
Discount. Are you calling Don Paolo Discount Waluigi?
Is it now? He's tricked us before. Who's to say he couldn't do it again?
Like right now with you.
Very well, I'll play along. How do you propose I prove my identity?
It's quite simple, really.
Solve a puzzle.
Professor, I challenge you to a battle of wits.
What exactly do you have in mind? As a cautious man, I'm sure you have questions about my identity as well. So that we may prove our identities, I propose we demonstrate our respective intellects. Prepare a puzzle that can only be solved by someone as insightful as the professor. When you find the solution, I'll give you the chance to present me with a similar challenge. If I am who I say I am, I should have no trouble solving whatever you throw my way, should I? Let's get started. Before us are 4 cards arranged according to a set of conditions. Here they are. First, a heart is next to a diamond. Club is not the spade. Okay, good. Puzzle battle. Heart is next to a diamond. A club is not next to a spade. A heart is to the immediate right of a club. That's what I'm thinking. It's the only way it's that. Remember, don't give away puzzle solutions because I want to try and figure them out myself as well. Placing the spade there results in the correct answer. Impressive, Professor. If I'm having trouble, I will ask for help. Now, if I'm going to present you with a puzzle of my own design, nothing would make me happier. Good. I enjoyed the idea behind your puzzle. Though if you don't mind, I'd like to do something similar. Conditions for my 4 cards. Club sits directly to the right of a heart. Diamond is far left or right. Is the far left or right card and has a heart next to it. Finally, a club is also on the far left or right card. Using these conditions, I challenge you to find the spade. Oh, I have to do both of them? Doing that. No, you are. I mean, you guys are both trying to like figure it out, and I'm trying not to look at chat while I'm doing it, so it's fine. But you know, just keep that in mind. I don't have. You almost had me there, Professor, but as you know, this puzzle is flawed. It's unsolvable. That's so. I tried several solutions, but none worked given the conditions you set forth. Oh, really? Tell me, did I ever state that the 4 cards on the table contained 1 card from each suit? You're saying that there is no spade? Precisely. This was a trick question, but it makes a pertinent point. The puzzle you issued me, you failed to specify that the 4 cards included 1 from each suit. When you leave in a loophole like that, it makes the puzzle unsolvable. The same omission can also open the door to alternate solutions. You intentionally presented me with a puzzle that, when examined closely, is actually incomplete. The real test you set out for me was seeing if I'd catch on, was it not?
It seems you're the genuine article, Professor.
I'm glad to see that I've finally convinced you.
To be honest, I was convinced from the beginning. But I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to pit myself against my mentor in a battle of wits.
I'm flattered, I suppose.
Out with it already. Why did you call us here?
Every puzzle has an answer. There are too many. Why'd you just stop? Why'd you stop voice chatting? Voice chatting? Voice acting. There are too many eyes on us here. There's a supply room in the back where we can talk. Follow me. This young man calling him Luke Triton turns out to be an older Luke. Yeah. We're apparently in the slums of the casino. Well, is our Luke 10? I don't remember what age he is. Professor Layton, Luke, welcome to the London of the future. You're not convinced? You met with Dr. Schrader, didn't you? What did you think after seeing him? Sure you noticed the toll that time has taken on the good doctor? Yes, that seemed to be the case. And what of fair London herself? You've walked around enough to know how it's transformed. Can you imagine a 24-hour casino in this sleepy part of town 10 years ago? Everything's changed so much. What happened to this city? A genius appeared. An evil genius who turned the city on its ear. Oh, really? You missed that part? So, we got a letter from the future Luke who said, come to the future, I need to talk to you. And we were like, sure, whatever. So we went to this clock shop, and the clock shop person had us fix their clock, which jumbled up the clock shop, and when we went outside, it was in a different time. So, genius appeared, an evil genius who turned the city on its ear. Oh, I know where this is going. Don Paulo took over the city, didn't he? Don Paulo? Oh no, I'm talking about a truly brilliant man. Someone the three of us all know quite well. So it's not Don Paulo, then who is it? Yeah, time travel exists. But... I'm not convinced yet. I'm feeling like there's going to be some sort of twist. I feel like there's still yet a twist to come around for time travel. Like we've been playing Link's Awakening and talking about Mario 2. Yeah, because one, you go through the whole game and you get the clues that it's robots, but you don't know until the end. 2, what was the twist? Oh yeah, everyone was tripping balls. That's right. So, Box pretty much confirmed. Yeah, we were high in the second game. We were tripping balls. It was cool. Then who is it? Professor Layton. I'm not sure. How do you not sure? Come on now, the hints were there. I thought you'd say that. Who is it? I've got to know. His name is Hershel Layton. That evil genius is you, Professor. Da-da-dan! I was afraid you'd say that. That can't possibly be right. Sad to say there's no mistake here. They call him the devil in the top hat, and he rules London from the shadows. It's common knowledge to everyone in London. Tell me more, Luke. More? More? I don't know any more than... Oh my god, Luke, you're a fucking idiot. No, no! It cannot be! It's impossible! Sort your feelings, Luke. Oh my god, it actually fucking works. More? I don't know any more than you do, Professor. No, bitch, I'm not talking to you. Goodness, this is getting rather complicated. Tell me, Luke, how did I rise to rule over all of London? Where to begin? Here, Professor, surely you remember this. It does. Of course. This is the article about the accident that happened just the other day. Ah, to you two, I suppose it was just the other day. However, it's been a full 10 years since that fateful day. Whoa. This is heavy. It's a dark period for London. The Prime Minister vanished, leaving Parliament in utter chaos. Yeah, everyone in Parliament is in a state of panic. In our time, I mean. Professor, you yourself witnessed the accident that changed London forever. The demonstration was a total failure. Yes, both the Prime Minister and that scientist. You meet Dr. Stungun. That's right. Several people, including those two, disappeared in the blast. Seems likely the force of the explosion killed them. Didn't the paper say that a few of Dr. Stungun's assistants vanished in the blast as well? That's the story in the papers, but what would you say if I told you that Stungun just read that. What? It's like it hits like a donkey with its balls duct taped. What the fuck is going on in my chat room right now? Well, the second game specifically said something. Everything was alive. How to reimagine conversations. How did some villagers know about people? Oh, because everyone was tripping balls. No. All right, so this song currently playing right now. I still get to watch Breaking Bad. Part of this song was reminding me of the song specifically. Besides, you may know where this is from. I've heard of My Sins, but not Agent. You think this is out of Pilot Wings? Here, I'll sweeten the pot. If either of you can figure out what game this is from before it ends, I will gift this up to my channel. I need to see the specific answer. Someone already said it. gonna check Shoe Goose here for a second. Okay. Alright. Not gonna lie, if time travel happens to be real, I believe Layton has the skill to become an evil mastermind. Probably Box was probably joking about him being Link and has not. Yeah, he was a little, like, I don't want to say butthurt, but he was like, my guy can beat up your guy. Deity, you say? That's right, he built the time machine in the Midland Road clock shop. I suppose completed is an odd choice of words, as the machine is far from complete. How so? Doesn't allow users to select a destination, nor where they will reappear in the flow of time. Simply opens a hole of sorts in between in two areas of time. You mean a wormhole? Precisely, and by sheer chance, the machine opened a wormhole to the clock shot that spans the 10 years between our two times. It gives us the ability to move back and forth between your present and mine. We use the wormhole to get the message to us and to bring us here. One thing is bothering me. The wormhole is obviously very important to my future self. Surely the Layton of this era must have kept a close eye on this place. How did you gain access to it? I'll get to that, but right now, it is more pressing business I'd like to attend to. Go on then, tell us why you called us here. Always one step ahead of me. You haven't lost your touch, Professor. I wish to enlist your help in stopping the future Hershel Layton. You want me to stop myself? Isn't that like some form of perverted masturbation? Even as we speak, future Layton is racing to complete a fully operational time machine. He's been ducking back into the past to gather every bright scientist working in time travel. Why bother going back through time to find scientists? There must be plenty here. Many of the experts in the field were lost when Stongon's demonstration went awry. Therefore, Layton had no choice but to travel back to before the blast in order to gather talent. Things are bad already, but if Layton manages to build a working time machine, there's no telling what could happen. Someone has to stop him from completing his scheme. The only person up to the challenge is me. That's what you're going to say, isn't it? Exactly. We have to fight fire with fire. No one else stands a chance against him. But how? I'm unfamiliar with my current surroundings, and I have no clue where to find the man. That's one obstacle we'll have to overcome together. Layton's actions are shrouded in secrecy. But his base of operations is well known. We can start our search from there. You mean this casino isn't the future professor's headquarters? No, this facility is just one of the many ways he makes money. The actual headquarters is in the heart of Chinatown. Let's visit the place and see if we can learn something more. Just so you know, Luke, there's still quite a bit that I find dubious about the situation. Much is still unclear, but the only way to get to the bottom of this is to meet the man claiming to be me. Somehow I figured my brief explanation would not be enough to convince you, Professor. Don't forget me, I'm coming too. Of course you are. I can't count on myself for help. Who can I count on? Thinking about what you said makes me kind of dizzy. I hope you get used to it soon. I'm gonna need your help getting to the bottom of all this. Yes, there's one more interesting fact you should know about, Professor. Yes? There's no record of a scientist matching Stongon's name and description. The name's a fake. Really now? Whoever he was, he made an effort to hide his real identity from the people at the demonstration. Now that you mention it, few people at the demonstration seem to know the man. What would motivate Stongon to use a false name? And what was he planning? Another interesting question we'll hopefully answer along the way. Doesn't make any sense. What are you thinking, Professor? We can talk more as we go. For now, we need to head back to Flatstone Street. God damn. Well, think about it. Stun gun. It's kind of like a... It's like a... Yeah. Future Hershel Layton is a crime lord who terrorizes London. So basically that little view of that woman is to be like... Ha! Stand gun or sit knife. Give me 1 second here. Since I made that little purchase. Dude. Come on, you two. We need to make a fucking blah 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 blah. Sure, whatever. We're gonna get caught. I feel like we're about to get caught.
There you are, boss.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
Oi, what are you doing wearing the boss's get-up? This your idea of a joke?
no, not at all.
Come to think of it, I don't think I've seen any of you round here before.
Yes, well, we don't often get a chance to visit this fine establishment of yours.
Gorilla Man.
Dunno about that, but I'm gonna need you to come with me for some questioning. This way, you three.
About that.
Professor, run away while you can!
Ow.
Oh no!
Quickly, you two, this way.
Don't let him escape!
Just gotta knock the shit
Don't
out.
let him escape!
Well, that fucking escalated quickly.
We're surrounded, Professor!
Like
Calm
stormtrooper logic.
yourself, Luke. I have a plan.
Do you though?
Wait! Where are you going?
Do you see a way out of this?
I do, but I'll need your help.
Motherfucking puzzle. I didn't know there was an HD remake. Okay, I did read that right. Build a machine gun from the parts disassembled slot machine. Help future Luke and Layton fight back. Yeah, that's slightly
We
ridiculous.
can't win this fight! More bad boys! More bad!
I say, that was a close one.
We gave them a taste of their own medicine.
Luke,
Funny,
you did
I
shit!
don't remember you helping.
Look, you're me, so that means I get some credit for assisting.
Oh, is that so?
That's very interesting logic.
My past self made pickles, so I get all the credit for making the pickles. Got a new course. Ah, yes, I named my site Safe File Bitch because I'm totally 37 years old. I can't either. So, Mr. Triton, where are we heading? Luke, please call me anything but Mr. Triton. It's really strange being called that by myself. Very awkward for me too, but what else am I supposed to call you? I don't see why you both can't be called Luke. Should the need to distinguish you two apart arise, you can be Big Luke and you Little Luke. I'm not too keen. I'm not keen on being called Little Luke. Makes me sound like I don't have a bit. Beats me with all this confusion. Whatever you say goes, Professor. Pleasure to make your acquaintance again, Little Luke. Pleasure's all mine. Big Luke. Now, where were we? Oh yeah, there's something we need to check up on. Professor, on your way to the casino, did you pass a restaurant and the shopping arcade? One near the southern exit to the arcade? It's the one, we need to head there first. A friend of mine is waiting for us there. Just call me Dompe, cause I got a big personality. us crash. On the right. Oh, hold on. Actually, we put that there. Actually, hold on. We may not have to put it like right. Then if we do this. Batch. Boom. Dad? That was a lot easier than the first one. Okay, so we need to go to the arcade restaurant. Ah! Why are you sneaking up on me like that? You almost gave me a heart attack. Sorry, sir. I don't think a simple hello could scare you so much. I was lost in thought, didn't you see there? Anyway, I have to take care of things. Goodbye. How odd. What's up, Professor? Take a look at the ground, Luke. Pissed himself. The man left wet footprints, even though it hasn't rained since we got here. Why is his shoes wet? August. Because he pissed himself, Luke. Each day's so nice. I wish my hubby would come home and we'd go on a picnic. I made another jar of pickles, by the way. Just a little further, Luke. We're almost to the arcade now. Yeah, we walked through here earlier. Oh, right, of course you did. You mentioned that before, didn't you? Yeah. Hey, you know, there's something I've been wondering about. What's on your mind? Well, a time machine, be able to take people to any point in time, could really Deal out below is lined with wooden stakes forming a grid of squares. Your job is to stretch rope between the stakes so that a 4-person family is planning to build a house here can have 4 identically shaped rooms. 5 ropes or less. A rope that travels multiple stakes. Straight line counts as... This and this. Really make... I think we lost our new friend. Oh, I see. Well, welcome back. They can be. Hit me with it, because I'm not seeing it. Did it. Because even the hints weren't really... I mean, it's saying a gem cut from the top. Yeah, it is. Here we go. Really? What?
This one's as good as solved. No puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
That was dumb. Oh, how wonderful. That's a wonderful home you designed for us, Fluke. I'm so happy right now. Give you a sweetheart big squishy kiss. Stop making that kissy face at me. Oh, Fluke. There's that shyness again. Every time you get embarrassed like that, I just melt. Oh, I got another one. We're doing it. It does. It's just stupid. Oh, Fluke. Okay. That is too simple. Ah. Because it fits the parameters of the puzzle. That's all that matters. Oh, you want me? Fuck. Well, this sure is nice today, don't you think? Not bad, I guess. On this day, I've always baked cookies. I'm gonna enjoy it because of this problem I'm having. Would you mind helping with this conundrum? Free cookies? Fuck yeah! It's not good. Awesome. That's not good. I need to take care of something. I currently have, I think, edema in my ankle, and I just want to make sure it's okay. I need to do. Oh. Okay. There are 15 cookies to share amongst a large group. The first person eats one cookie and then passes equal portion of the leftover cookies to two other people. We both eat a cookie and each pass two equal portions of the remaining cookies to two other people. So on until all the cookies are gone. It takes 1 minute to eat a cookie. Ignoring the time it takes to pass them, what's the shortest amount of time it can take for all the cookies to be eaten? Eats a cookie 14, 7, and 7. They both eat a cookie 6. Two, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute.
Here's my answer.
Oh. I thought I was gonna get
Here's
tricked
my
there for a
answer.
second.
Phew, that's a relief.
Hi, I'm just gonna lift my up. Don't mind me. These always taste so much better when you share them, don't you think? Glad you think so. Sure. Oh, but I'll tell you the answer. What do you say? Yep. Can't move direction. Can't move in the direction that the arrows on each squares are pointing. The restaurant? The place you had in mind, Big Luke? The one, and let's head in. That man in matte black over there, does he seem familiar to you? Yeah, he's the one who brought the letter from you. Sorry to keep you waiting, Shipley. Oh, sorry to keep you waiting, Shipley. Not at all, I just got here a moment ago myself. Though you've all met before, I don't think you've had a proper introduction to my good friend Shipley. He has played a vital role in the effort to bring you and little Luke to our time. You too, Shipley. Likewise, Professor. Sorry I had to be so brief with you last month. Told me I shouldn't share any details until he had the chance to speak for himself. Don't give it another thought. Luke needed to test us before sharing the details of his plan. Shipley, did you manage to some reconnaissance work in Chinatown, as I asked? Indeed, Luke. I feel this scumbag Layton. Apologies, Professor. I would Evil Layton I'm referring to. Professor is apprised of all the situation. Can you? The towering pagoda located in Chinatown. Apparently, Evil Layton's holding those scientists captive there. Has them working on something day and night. Scientists are in the tower itself. It's going to make things difficult. Heard about a peculiar rumor about town. This? The Prime Minister who disappeared 10 years ago was being held up there too. What? Bill Hawks. Went missing the day of the accident. Been missing for 10 years. Suppose even Layton might have abducted the Prime Minister in addition to all those scientists. Don't know until we check the facts for ourselves. Big Luke, you seem apprehensive at the mention of the towering pagoda. What is
of the academic community now. So you've got to look the part. Very dashing, Hershel. The picture of a true gentleman.
A true gentleman?
No, leave it on. It suits you. It really does. So no taking it off. Oh, look at the time. I didn't realize how late it was. I have to go to the lab. We're running a very important experiment today. Let's continue this celebration over dinner tonight. Oh, and promise me you'll wear the hat. It's not your usual style, but keep an open mind. After all, isn't that what a gentleman does?
God damn it. God damn it. Oh well. You see that, Professor? Wasn't it the same woman we saw earlier? Suppose it was. You seem distracted, Professor. Are you alright? What was that? Alright, I'm fine. If you say so. Bet those are the stairs Shipley mentioned. Could have sworn that was Claire, but it couldn't be. Word has it the Prime Minister who disappeared 10 years ago is being held up in there. Perhaps the Prime Minister wasn't abducted 10 years ago. Could he have been brought to the future like Luke and me? What if all this talk of time travel is real? Maybe that was Claire. If I saw logic, Claire can't be here after that awful day. There's no way. Suppose that bronze statue depicts some sort of local hero. I'm gonna have a quick look. Hey, Professor, the man in the statue has the same hat as yours. So he does. If I'm the man in the statue, does that mean you're the boy there? He does look a thing like me. There's a description on the statue here. Let's see. Seems our friend here was some sort of famous author. An author, you say, not a professor? Imagine if he was. Now that would be quite a coincidence. Let's see what else it says. Fellow used to write big, complicated books, but there's a change because of the boy there. The boy was sick, and to cheer him up, the man wrote an adventure novel for people of all ages. Guess the book was so successful, he went on to write more of them. What a heartwarming story. Here, I'll read you the rest. In the end, the little boy was taken by his illness. However, the extraordinary friendship between the author and the boy would remain forever. Can't believe how sad that ending is. Hey there, the boy. It's not all bad. Hey there, it's not all bad, my boy. Sounds like the two found true friendship in each other. Some people go their whole lives without experiencing that. Suppose so. Still sad, though. Look here, it says in memory of an extraordinary and an everlasting friendship. Wouldn't it be wonderful if our friendship grew to those heights? What do you mean, if? Friendship is already extraordinary and everlasting. Now, no, Luke. I didn't mean to ruffle your feathers. You're right. We're very good friends. You're not upset, are you? Why would I be upset? Get going. Grumble, grumble, grumble. I just chewed one of my pills. Oh dear. Official, I'm a genius. Just listen to the puzzle I thought up. It's a real gem. Below are 3 siblings, A, B, and C. I have 1 older brother and 3 younger sisters. I have 2 older brothers and 2 younger sisters. I have 3 older brothers and 1 younger sister. Oh, fun. Five?
That should do the trick.
6 then?
That should do the trick.
Yeah, if it wasn't 5, it's...
Just as I suspected.
Okay. I'm just over here panicking. It's all good. Must have cheated something. Later, cheetah pants. You know the statue, yeah? Reminds you of a puzzle? Nicely. Let me chat it with you. There are 4 knights with lances in the photo. One of the lances was broken and repaired with string right before the picture was taken. Which lance is it? Of course, all the lances were originally straight.
Here's my answer.
That was supposed to be hard.
I knew it!
No, really, that was supposed to be hard? A real man backs down from no puzzle. In fact, nothing blights him more than pursuing a solution. When you turn to your apartment, you discovered a strange piece of paper next to your calculator. Your roommate must have been trying to tell you something before he left. The note says 101 times 5. Oh my god.
Let's
that
see
was
if
supposed
I've
to be
got
hard.
this right. Few things satisfy like a puzzle solved.
It's SOS. Roommate's asking for help, but fuck him if he needs help. Prove around Shadow, it's out that every puzzle has an answer. Excellent work, my man. It's really the way to Chinatown. It's awfully dirty and dark. By the sudden apprehension, does this place frighten you, my boy? Me? Scared? No way. I just want to get out of here. Be careful, you could slip. Whoa! Ow, 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 ow. What did I just tell you? I just banged up my knee a little. I'll walk it off. God, I was worried for a moment there. Let's go. Hey man, have you ever been so bored you could keel over? Me too. Like right now. Why are you so bored? Because my chin looks like a sack of testicles. Well, mostly because I got nothing to do, but also I sort of lost my life and now I can't find it. How does one lose one's life? A while ago, this guy tells me I make money hand over fist doing easy work. I have a job at the time, so I figure why not? Well, that's a first. First time I've done that. Good thing I
Let's see if I've got this right.
save state.
Few things satisfy.
Oh, there it is.
I've got a good feeling about this one. Just as I suspected.
That's dumb. On the wrong track, right track. Here's the River Thames. Majestic as ever. So London will never change, even after 10 whole... Hey, that wasn't here before. Noticed it too. Hey, the biggest light I'd ever seen. It sure wasn't there before. Almost in pristine condition. So must have been built fairly recently. Good day, too. Is the view here positively glorious? Quite nice. I'm sort of breathtaking. That's all. Look at this guy. He's part of the family. Now listen, boy, I'm standing right here. If you have something to say it to my face. I don't appreciate being associated with those drably dressed ruffians. Look at this suit, boy. Do you see this stitch work? It was custom made in Italy. Italy, I say. I'm sorry, sir. I never meant no offense. It was just foolish for me to think you were part of that bunch. As long as you acknowledge your mistake, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. No doubt to my identity, introducing myself. Before you stands most distinguished dashing and debonair name's Graham. I'll tell you to remember the name, but I know you'll never forget it. Got it, Graham. London's most distinguished dashing and I forgot the last part. Won't forget the name, I promise. Graham's the name. Those in search of London's most go further. Hello there. Happen to know if this is the way to Chinatown? Path will take you there, probably. Probably. Have you ever taken this path before? No way, I just have this feeling that something's gonna happen to me for now. Something bad. What if I had to run in with the family? Hiding goons seek. Got a feeling the family's goons might be lurking around if I didn't want any trouble, so I've hidden a spot where I can spy on them without being... Tell me how many goons there are. Eight.
How about this?
There's not 9, then I
How
don't know.
about this? I knew it!
That one counted as good. Not my puzzle. Guess you're not part of the family, then they're not too bright, see? We're no family goons. I'm Luke, and this man here is the famous Professor Layton. Ah, Layton, you say? Of course he's not a family goon. He's the head honcho. Somebody help me. Oh, I forgot how name Layton tends to scare the socks off people. Unfortunate, but the name people think of a criminal. If you look at the ground, he seems to have pissed himself too. How do you get all wet? Interesting. Yo, Professor, with all the trees here, welcome back. It was actually kind of creepy. Come on, Luke, are you afraid of bumping into a ghost? Come on, Professor, you know I'd never believe in something so unscientific. Unscientific, you say? Yeah, there's no proof that ghosts exist, nothing based on fact anyway. A man of science, naturally, you don't fear something as silly as ghosts, right? Maybe just a little. You missed it. I actually, I closed the emulator on accident. It's kind of funny. Luckily, I had just done a puzzle recently, so I had a save state. You want to lay one of the 5 types of paving stone below around your garden without overlapping. I think.
This one's as good as solved. Phew, that's a relief.
That one was easy. I could do it. I knew there was gonna be another one there. I'm looking at this curious flower and the strange little insect zipping around it. Here, you got a lost look about you. Do you know where you are? Guess we do not. It's our first time passing through. Could be wrong, but it looks like you're a couple of upstanding citizens. A nice fella, so I'll clue you two in. You stand right on top of a black market bazaar. Black market? Wow. I was right, kid. We sell a lot of weird stuff right here. No one questions where it comes from. If it was me and those shiny loafers of yours, I'd keep my head down, but loose as quick as you can. That seems prudent. Before you go, tell me, why do people come all the way out here to do their shopping? Is it good the things for sale here? Well, let's just say you won't find another secret. Come to the bazaar and you'll see. And who can say what treasure is? Stealing antiques and other rare items? I think we've had enough questions for one day, Luke. Let's move on. You be careful, and if you ever in the market for something hard to locate, swing by. Oh, hello there, Mr. Cat. Meow? We sell cocaine. What's he saying, Luke? Says he's in a bit of a jam, Professor. He's got a puzzle for us to solve. I'm kind. Boop. Nope, it ended. One else donated. Tomcat is trying to meet up his sweetheart. However, the dogs are on the squares with the X's can smell Cap up 3 squares away and chase him off. Can't, however, smell Cap through the wall. Which Cap do you? See.
This one's as good as solved.
Again, that one was supposed to be hard
I
too.
knew it.
Glad we could help too. Yes, glad to be of service. Yeah, like why? Boy, just what you do think you're doing. No one passes through this gate here. But clear out, we're having more than words with each other. See? The nerve of them, they're just a pair of brutes, don't you agree? Professor, what are you thinking about? Tell me, Luke, do those two remind you of anyone we know? Not exact mass, but they do bear an odd resemblance to a certain pair of foes we know. Of course, you're talking about Inspector Chemley and Pabarton. I am. The similarities are quite striking, don't you think? The guy in charge? Check. Short assistant? Check. Something tells me the inspector wouldn't take kindly to being told he resembles a criminal. Speaking of the inspector, did you see his presence at the event seem at all to you? You mean the timed machine demonstration? Why do you suppose a police inspector was invited to an event like that in the first place? Well, he's cracked quite a few tough cases. Maybe his celebrity status got him invited. I assume the same thing. After all, pseudo-celebrity status is what got you and me our tickets. Pseudo-celebrity? Nonsense. You're the great Professor Layton. Very model of a modern-day English gentleman. I'd say Luke, but I think you're the only one who'd heap that kind of praise on me. From what I saw, almost everyone there was part of London's upper class or the media. The inspector and I were clear exceptions to an otherwise homogeneous list of names. So? Well, the question looms before us. Why did Dr. Stungun, whoever he is, invite the inspector and me? What I wouldn't give to hear the inspector's take on the event. Too bad we have to go back to our own time to ask him. Wait a second. What if the inspector's still working here in the future? Professor, there you are. Ah, hello, Luke. Couldn't help but overhear as you ran up. Did you say you'd like to meet up with the inspector? Yes, ideally I'd meet him back in our time, when the events of 10 years ago are still fresh. I think we can make that happen. But how? Continue this conversation away from prying eyes, shall we? Why don't we head over to the wooded area to the west? Yeah, much better. I don't think anyone is likely to overhear us here. Mentioned there's a way for us to visit the inspector who exists in our own time. I can only imagine this means returning to the present. Is that possible? Indeed, Professor, but the only way to do it is to use the wormhole in the clock shop. The door to that place is bolted shut. How will we get in? Shouldn't be a problem. I'll get the door open for you. Strange. Why is it you have such easy access to the wormhole? I promise I'll explain everything when we get there. Please trust me on this. But now let's turn to the clock shop on Midland Road. What about our plan to head into Chinatown? I'll have to go on the back burner for now. The situation has changed. Back to the present. Not back to the future, back to the present. It very well might be Chelmley and Barton in disguise. Say, when was that lighthouse on the Thames built? About 5 years or so ago. Did anyone complain about the lighthouse's peculiar location? Building a structure like that in the middle of the Thames seems like it could do more harm than good. You make a good point, Professor, but enough chat about the city. We need to make for the clock shop. Well, thank goodness you stopped. The most debonair gentleman in London requires your assistance. Okay, what's the matter? That blasted bird over there. The dreadful creature swooped down and plucked my best cufflinks right off their sleeves. What bird? It's our parrot friend. Oh, that must be the bird the fellow was talking about. Oh, wow, a parrot. Understood, Gaping. Grab that awful thing before he gets away. You may not have noticed, sir, but we're in a bit of a hurry here. Yourself, Luke, don't you remember what the professor always says? Helping people in need is the duty of every gentleman. Suppose you got me there. Very well, let's think. This bird clearly likes shiny objects. Tell me, sir, do you have anything shiny we could borrow for a moment? Also, what sort of gentleman would I be with a properly accoutrement? Here, I carry this coronet, but when I need to accessorize it, a little flash. Oh dear. My garnet has fallen to the bottom of my bag and can't reach it. Oh, shit!
I do believe I've got the answer.
Oh, Big Luke had this.
Success.
Big Luke solved that one. Look at that sparkling gem. Ah, there we are. Is that you like the flashy bauble will attract the feathery fellow? It's close to see if we can make friends. Leave it to me. Right then, here he goes. Hawk? Here he comes. Hawk, swaka, swaka? Don't worry, little guy, we won't hurt you. Hawk, swak? You don't say. Hey, that bird seems pretty keen on you. Are you friends now? Of course. Not really friends, why don't you give him a name? Great idea, Professor, but what should I name him? I mean, was there any question? Hello, hello, nice to meet you, I'm my balls. Hello, back at you, I'm Luke. Nice to meet you too, my balls. God damn it never gets old. Well done, Luke, that was amazing. Of course, what else would we expect from the apprentice of the great Professor Layton? It was all worth it to have Luke say, "Nice to meet you, my balls." Hey, Kevin, you caught that feathery menace. What fine young men you two are. Yeah, and then one day you'll each become a true gentleman like myself. I'm glad we could help. Here you go. I believe these cufflinks and garnets are yours. Oh, yes. Yeah, with this on and look more devastatingly handsome than before. You two young men deserve something for your trouble. There's no really need, sir. Why, helping people is a reward enough for any gentleman. Take the path on the left up here. Left? Will that take us back? Will that take us back to Midland Road as well? Will, and in half the time. You're staring at me. What do you need, boy? Oh, nothing, sir. Just saw you there and thought I'd say hello. Got some guts approaching me. It makes me laugh. It's been a while since I've had a chuckle like that. Let me think. Of course. Four children below were playing in the park when they suddenly realized they need to go home. However, they mixed their coats. Got my coat. Written. Definitely wearing one now. Who's wearing D's nuts? Ah! Wearing A. Doesn't have a coat.
This one's as good as solved.
That was quick logic.
No
solving.
puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
Because B had A's coat. Yeah. The puzzle will be missing. If you careless few things, you can lose them. Guess I found. Our friend is a sticker. The view from the observation deck is out of this world. It does have quite the view, but we don't have time to stop to the clock shop. The road is just on the other side of that door. I'll run ahead and open it. Hey! The door's locked. Locked? Can't be. Step aside, Luke. I'll get it. An odd number. 1 plus 5 is 6. And 5 is... times 5 equals 5 equals...
I do believe I've got the answer. It seems I was right on the money.
Wonderful work. Early graduation, Professor. The door still won't open. Puzzle wasn't keeping. What is? So it's time for Plan B. Might be suit Timber's tradition. Will you help me shove this door? Certainly. See if I run out of other options. Anyway, let's together now. 1, 2, 3. Oof. Fall down on the street. Hard to believe that Flora must have fallen asleep against the door. I'm gonna show you every puzzle is an answer. Even that answer is just brute force. Think crap, Professor, to remember that because that answer is coming right at us and he looks mad. Why are you kicked down my napping door? Not only did it hurt, but you woke me up. You gotta be sorry, sir. You had no it. Realized it was you. Before I say anything, I'm feeling queasy, so I'm gonna head home right now. I think I've driven that poor man off again. Don't fret about it too much, Professor. So I keep moving toward the clock shop. I happened to notice the odd flower growing in the abandoned shop on Southern Midland Road. I'd say I have. What's so strange about the peculiar flower? Supposedly it attracts puzzles that have disappeared from their original location. Like a Venus flytrap for puzzles. The rumors say, anyway. Never actually seen it myself. Only the truly has the ability to retrieve puzzles we've left behind.
Watch out, Professor. There's a bee over there.
Now, Luke, I'm sure he won't hurt us, as long as we don't bother him.
If you say so.
You know, I've never seen a bee quite like this. Can you try talking to him, Luke?
I suppose I can give it a shot.
Well, look at Mr. Tall out here. Clearly he knows a bee of distinction when he sees one.
That's quite the accent.
Wow, you're not like any bee I've ever met.
Isn't that what I just said? Well, it's true. I'm no run-of-the-eye bee, but I do try to blend in.
You'd probably have better luck blending in if you didn't talk.
Sure, whatever you say, smart guy. But listen, I've got something you should hear.
Yeah.
You know those puzzles you don't get around to solving? Well, you see, I have what you might call one of them magnetic personalities.
Wait, are you saying you've got the same job as Granny Riddleton?
Granny who? I don't know no grannies. But my name is Beasley. I'm gonna tell you how to peruse those puzzles now, so listen good.
I'm all ears.
Tap that flower over there to see a list of all the puzzles I've got. It's as simple as that.
Which
So
box was
anytime
here
you
for that?
get a craving to solve some of the puzzles you left behind, come here. Did that all make sense? Because people tell me I do tend to drone on. Get it? Drone?
It makes perfect sense.
All right, then. You have fun with those puzzles, and I'll be here if you need me.
You can come back to
So
sting
don't
you.
just stand there with your mouth hanging open.
You got them all. Talking. I'm actually quite shocked that I got them all. Oh, you guys can't see his. Oh. It's in here saying it was before too. Oh, is it this puzzle?
I've got a good feeling about this one. I've got a good feeling about this one.
There we go.
Few things satisfy like a puzzle solved.
Stop, the door is locked earlier. No one would answer when we knocked. Didn't know the secret knock. Watch this. Come in. By the door now. one's here. Look who's back. Ah! You learned the secret knock theory. It was I who did the knocking spring. Is Cog around? You are, Luke. Cog's in the back room. Are you friends with the owners of the clock shop, Luke? Suppose I neglected to mention that earlier. Yes, Spring and Cog have been helping me. Luke is back. Tell a friend. Actually explains the situation better than I do, so you could ask him. Alright, let's see what he has to say. Cog's in bed. Thought I heard voices up front. See you again, Professor, and, Luke. Professor's apprentice. It says Luke, of course. Oh, would you mind telling a bit about the wormhole and how it all started? Helping to get everyone on the same page. My pleasure. You there, Luke? Small Luke, that is. Yes? Tell me, boy, what does this contraption behind me look like to you? Big old clock. A big old cock. Right, you are. By my estimates, this cock is well over 100 years old. The old guy needs a lot of TLC to keep chugging along, so I spend quite a bit of time on maintenance. Right in the middle of oiling her gears up one day when the family goons busted in. Yeah, that's gotta be the place the boss was talking about. Sure, hey boss, this big clock here, just like you said, it's a real antique. Come over and see. Just what the fuck do you guys think you're doing in my shop? Get your hands off my cock! Kenny Gramps, you don't get to tell us what to do. Don't you know who we're dealing with? Yeah, a bunch of blockheads who won't leave my shop. If I were you, keep a civil tongue in my... Civil tongue in my head, old man. By the way, we got a schedule to keep. What are you kind of putzing around for? Get to work! If we don't hurry, things will be ready by the time you know who talked about. Sorry, boss, Joe. It's not our best to get here, making things difficult. If you're a lunkhead, you don't know the deal with difficult. Throw them on the street. Here you go, you dirtbags. Go for a little walk, Gramps. That's okay with you, isn't it? You filthy hands off my cock, you hear me? About on schedule. Turn this thing on until the exact time the big guy mentioned. Before those brutes tossed me out of my own shop. Later I found out what the thugs wanted from my little cock shop. Family funded the construction of a time machine by some scientists. The idea was to create some wormhole or warp point. How did they manage to do that? I mean, it was all mumbo jumbo, something about opening up a vortex in the flow of time. Anyway, for whatever reason, the plan didn't go exactly as they anticipated. Somehow this hole in time manifested itself near this clock of yours. That'd be the case, yes. The clock has been ticking away for over 100 years. I guess it's something about this clock's age, caused the warp point to gravitate to this spot. Kept the wormhole, whatever it's called, pulled here and became part of my clock. Thing is, I'm the only one who can keep this whole gal running, which, like it or not, Spring and I are the only people who can open and close this wormhole. Really strange. Burden is well. Then we found out about what I could do. They forced me to work the cock for them. For a while, I caught wind of Cog's situation. I'm sure it goes without saying, but Cog isn't part of the family. In fact, the family's been nothing but a source of trouble for poor Cog. Sure seems that way. Knowing that, I approached Cog and Spring to explain my idea to them. After getting them on board with my idea, Cog fired up the machine and helped me get my message to them. And upon receiving your letter, my curiosity took myself and Luke on a journey that led us here. Quite the plan you drummed up. Thanks, but it's all about getting more... It's about to get even more interesting. I put my cock in a wormhole. Yep. I hate you.
This one's as good as solved.
I hate you again. I hate you even more, game. How the fuck was that a 1?
This one's as good as solved. Phew, that's a relief.
I hate you so much. Puzzle is stupid. I think we're gonna go to the university and then, well, unless you found yourself some nice shiny hint coins. Betty, give me help with anything out with it already. Of course, please excuse this. Cheers. And we're finding without the help of a wise old lady like yourself. Calling old. Don't call me Flawless Florence for nothing. I apologize, Miss Florence. I didn't mean to call you old. Senior? Old? You don't just get it, do you? I'm gonna have to teach you a lesson. With a puzzle! In my younger days, I was considered quite the catch. This is a picture of me back then, along with 3 of my handsome suitors. A few moments after this picture was taken, one of them, gents, confessed his love by presenting the heart.
Here's my answer. I knew it!
I had to guess it's in the book. You're smart cookies when it comes to puzzle solving, I'll give you that. Papa means more than coming from a lady such as yourself, points. I have to admit, I've gotten a bit turned around with all this time traveling. What are we investigating now? Feeling a bit discombobulated, my boy? I can hardly blame you. Also, not every day they travel to the future. Tell itself. Here with a bit of a review of our case as it currently stands. Very well, let's see if we can bring you up to speed. Remember why Big Luke called us to the future? Caught the evil Professor Layton. Exactly what we're stopping my future self from doing? Right, we want to stop you from completing his time machine research. Which is why you and I are exactly heading to Chinatown. Failed to get into Chinatown. At that point, you started talking and asked questions about asking the inspector some questions. I had no idea we'd be able to jump back to our own time to question. I love that word too. In that sense, it seems we were pretty lucky, huh? Perhaps. Sounds like something is simmering. Something bothering you. Something we've come to investigate, and we've just about reached our stop. We're run by my office, and it's up to see. Need to stop by my office and check something. That will go find an Yeah, Professor, I see you canceled lecture again this week. Let me guess, you investigating another strange mystery? Hello, Rosetta. Something rather pressing has come up, but I'm sure to hold makeup session later. Mr. Worries, Mr. L, as long as I get my credits, I'm not sweating it. There's your papers on the stone relics and Cornwall. See your cut out for you. Your advisor insists you must check with me weekly to see how your papers. Not every girl has the privilege of receiving private instruction from the great Professor Layton. Second during office hours. Odd. Someone's thirsty. Nonsense, my boy. It's all in your head. He's a man-eater. Whatever that means. Oh dear. Oh, they legit have to have different pieces. They have to have each of the colors on.
I've got a good feeling about this one. Just as I suspected.
indulging me. I was confused because it didn't really clarify that they each had to have a different color. They had to have one of each color. My boy, I've been looking for you. Hello, sir. Didn't receive my notice that I was on holiday. I've been on something else I need your help with. In that case, please tell me how I can assist us. You know, my boy, what I'm about to ask you, well, I'd like anyone else to hear. Since I have a puzzle, I simply can't work through. And Donna brought it to me, I can't for the life of me solve the last of it. Okay, you got a puzzle. Shut up and just give me the puzzle. Here's some matchsticks that spell out 100M. Move one of the matchsticks into the garbage to display the link. One 1,000. Oh, hold on.
That should do the trick. Few things satisfy like a puzzle solved.
10 centimeters. Because I had to think about it in my head. Take away a 0, and then you have to push one more 0 over. So you're in centimeters. And I can help you with the predicament. Don't tell anyone you solved it.
Oh, hi there, Flora. You two have got some nerve leaving me alone while you go off on another adventure.
Now, Flora, you know that wasn't our intention at all. While we were out investigating one issue, an even more troublesome matter arose.
What kind of troublesome matter? We couldn't have seen it coming, Flora. Honest. Really? Of course, we wouldn't have left you behind on purpose.
Luke is quite right. Do forgive us for our oversight.
Well, okay. Just this once. But you two had better not leave me alone again.
Of course not.
That is done, so I guess there's no point in stewing over it. You just made awfully tired from all that running around. I just made a pot of tea. I'll go fetch it. You just make a promise to Flora. Maybe I may have, and unfortunately this is one promise I fear I may have to break. Professor, that's terrible. Not to mention you're unlikely to go back on your word. I didn't see you doing anything to dissuade the poor girl from coming with us. Besides, you know our current fraught with danger. I don't want her to hurt. We need to finish our work here so we can find the inspector. Let's move quickly. Somewhere in my office is a leather-bound notebook with a yellow note sticking out. Find it? this the notebook you're talking about? Yes, it is. The information concerning the explosion at the Institute of Polydimensional Research. You put this notebook together, Professor. I did, piecemeal. I think most of the contents have been improved. You weren't kidding, most of the pages have been torn out. It's been a while since I opened it up, so let me see. At least the newspaper clippings. What exactly are these articles from, Professor? I'll play more on the bus, but for now we need to get out here before Flora returns. I'd be hungry, so I made cute little cucumber sandwiches. There you go. Aw, Flora. About the notebook we picked up at the office, Professor. Exactly what explosion were you researching? No, we could have brought Flora. We brought her on a fucking train. Like, well, she was already on the train. Happened several years ago when we were very small. Two scientists working in a physics lab unwittingly caused an explosion during the experiment. The explosion devastated the surrounding area. It must have been all over the news. You'd think so, wouldn't you? However, though many perished in the blast, few records of the accident remained. What happened? Something I'm still trying to figure out myself. Answer me this thing. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear of an explosion? The explosion of Dr. Stungon's time machine, of course. That's my first thought as well. I have a strong suspicion that the two incidences are connected. Why's that? Nothing more than a hunch, but I really can't say more right now. I said this is our stop. Here we are at Scotland Yard. No more time to waste, we need to find the inspector. Welcome to Scotland Yard. Headquarters of London Police, how may I be of service? Yeah. Well, if you told someone you time traveled, do you think they'll believe you? Here to see Inspector Chumley. Please let him know we'd like to speak with him. The inspector's terribly busy. One more strict orders if you're puzzled solved. What the fuck do those have to do with each other? Recent years, this city has been suffering from an increase in accidents and crime. According to a survey, there's one place in the city where the higher average of injured people and deaths throughout the year. Swear to fucking God if that's
Let's see if I've got this right. Just as I suspected.
I hate myself. Worked alright, tremendous work as usual, Professor Layton. You know each other? Of course, that's how I know the Professor. How can any self-respecting puzzle not know the name Layton? Man. I assume the puzzle I solved was one of your own design. Got me there. I'll pass out the chance to have the Professor Layton solve my puzzle. I'll call ahead, let the inspector know you're coming. His office is just up those stairs. Martin! A cup of tea to soothe jangled nerves? Good day, Barton. Hey to you, sir. True. Barton would like a few words with the inspector, but I don't see him here. I don't see him here either. I was led to believe he was here. Is this office? Yeah, he was. He just got up and left. It was all very sudden. Puzzled by it. Barton, I sincerely hope you're not spreading misinformation about me. I just told you I needed to pop downstairs to see the commissioner. Oh yes, you did say that, sir. As he is, Constable, you never move up in the force if you don't learn to listen. Greetings, Inspector. Apologies for not saying hello, Layton. Surprised to see you. Welcome to my humble office. Forgive the sudden intrusion, Inspector. I heard that you were leading the investigation on the Prime Minister's disappearance. I am. And as it's you I'm speaking with, I'll be quite candid. This case is completely baffled. Dozens of eyewitnesses, myself included, and not the blasted lead to work with. I know, like, getting her involved, like, I get it, but she's been on the last thing with you. Fine. I mean, she was kidnapped, but whatever. Since you were there, I might as well hear your take on things. Have a seat. question the day of the incident, but maybe our chat will uncover some new theory. We've already established that you were there when the explosion occurred. Yes, I certainly was. You must believe, as I do, that there was no way anyone could have survived that blast. Not that quack Stungon, nor his staff, and though I hate to say it, not the Prime Minister. What confounds me is that not a single trace of the lot remains. Files are off limits to most people. You're the first to touch them in a long time. Hey. Send some over. I'll help you look through them. What's your start? Appreciate the offer, but I handle these myself. They are top secret after all. Of course, I understand. Oh my god, look. It's us! We're in the... what? Wait just a bit longer, Luke. I'll finish up here soon. Seems like the inspector is always yelling at you. Don't you ever get tired of it? It's not so bad. Sure, he scolds me, but only when he has good reason to, which is often, unfortunately. Make a lot of mistakes, so I get yelled at a lot. He's always telling me I lack insight on cases and don't unpan. Completely understandable. I get distracted and then make mistakes. Yeah, Bot, everyone makes mistakes. Heck, I make them all the time. Goof up pretty bad sometimes. Why, the other day I found myself in the most ridiculous predicament. You need to get your car into the parking spot marked by the flag in the middle of the grid below. As you can see, you can only enter the spot from one side. When you encounter an X, you must turn left or right. When you encounter O, you must straight. Car is a bit of a clunker and can't go in reverse. Draw a line from your car parking. Right. Alright, so we either have to come in from this way or this way. I feel like... So when you come up, we have to go left or right. Left. Gosh, I said. Here. Okay, well then. Oh, I see it. Come down here. Here, here, here. Thought I had it. Oh! Oh! Yeah. Oh, hi! Pretty good one.
How about this? No puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
Wonderful work, Luke. I bet you give the professor any cause. Not really the yelling type. I've never let a puzzle go unsolved to get his reputation perfect. Never considered the possibility that goof-ups would harm the inspector's reputation. Wait, Barton, what's more important, you try your best. Against the inspectors. Oh, come here, I found what I've looked for. What is it, Professor? Well, you did some very valuable information, Luke. What exactly did you find out, Professor? Let's just say I'm very confident the Prime Minister is still alive. However, the only way to save him is travel to the other London where he's been. He might be trapped in the future? Perhaps. Let's bring this discussion to the inspector. Okay. Well, Layton, did your investigation bear any fruit? It did indeed. Started allowing me a few questions. Inspector, involved in the investigation into the explosion at the Institute 10 years ago? Yes, I was there. Ages ago it was. I've been promoted to assistant inspector. See, you remember the names of the scientists thought to have caused the explosion? I think that's coming back to me now. One man's name is Allen, Dimitri Allen. Were there two scientists implicated? Do you remember the second scientist's name? Quite a long time ago, you know. You're having some quite difficulty remembering. What about the victims? Do you remember any about them? The explosion caused substantial damage to the area and destroyed the neighboring apartment complex. One of the lab assistants perished in the explosion, as did several tenants in the building next door. Strangely enough, though, both scientists involved in the experiment survived. Very informative, Inspector. Good, because I got a few questions of my own. How do you think this old case relates to the current one? Just a theory, but I think the Prime Minister is being held somewhere beyond the influence of Scotland Yard. It means being held captive in another country? finish up. I need to charge my phone. Yeah, I suppose. All right. You may find what I'm about to tell you hard to believe, but I think Bill Hawks is being held captive in the future. This is your idea of a joke? I'm not laughing. I can understand your skepticism. Thank you for all your help today, Inspector. If you know anything about the Prime Minister's whereabouts, you'll be among the first to know. Come on, Luke. Let's be off. Now wait right there. You got a deal. Surely you got more from that far-fetched theory. Inspector, I told you as much as I know at the moment. Now please excuse me. Wow, we just totally fucking cock-blocked Chelmsford right there. Creatures, are you talking in riddles? Now that we came for, let's go back to the clock shop. The clock's waiting for us. Hey, Professor. Now you had no reason to abandon Flora. I was hoping that'd be a puzzle, but it's not. Suppose we have to head back to the future in London now, huh? How to do? Scared of traveling through time again? Yes, I mean no, as long as I don't have to do it alone. Also, I'll be right here with you. First on the agenda is heading to Chinatown to meet with the future Professor Layton, right? Right, if my guess is correct, we'll find the Prime Minister there as well. We'll run into trouble along the way. Considering the warm welcome we received from the family at the casino, I'd said anything's possible. No telling what kind of danger we're in. Best for you to remain in our time. What kind of apprentice would I be if I left you to face danger all alone? Of course I'm going. I think that might be a good spot to stop. Traveling companion? Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna read this. Because, oh, actually. Yeah, I'll read this out loud. Fuck it. Also, I'll show this off. This was from, Katie Bear. Parody of it. The person in, Shoe Goose. It's not being hidden, it's on their Discord, so it's not like I'm crazy. A heartfelt thank you for making a difference at our charity event. I'm filled with immense gratitude for your incredible support and generosity at our charity event today. Together, we raised over $1,500 for Games for Love and had an absolute blast while doing it. First and foremost, congratulations to all lucky winners. I wanted to extend a huge thank you to every single person who attended the event, donated, and spread the word. Your contributions, whether big or small, helped us make a positive impact on the lives of those in need. Together, we're creating smiles, joys, and hope. I also want to take a moment to share the progress of the custom painted She painted this while she was on stream today. Very talented, I will say that. Very like she definitely knows what she's doing. that I've been working on for the highest donor. It's been an absolute joy to pour my heart and creativity into this artwork. Seeing it come to life is truly inspiring. Can't wait to unveil the final masterpiece. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining us today, donating, and making the event a resounding success. Your support means the world to me, and I'm truly grateful for your kindness and compassion as I continue to spread love, positively, and dignity. All right. I have pickles to go put away. Also have feet. Happy about it. I'm just gonna call it. I'm not gonna. All right. I'll probably be on tomorrow night around the same time. I'll be playing Twilight Princess. Yeah, tomorrow Twilight Princess. Thursday more of this. So we'll get back into swing of things. Thank you, Josiah, for hanging out for the night. I'll see you when I see you.